It is Wednesday, December 14th. President-elect Donald Trump putting the Merry back in Merry Christmas.
We are going to say Merry Christmas again. Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, but Merry Christmas.
His cabinet quickly filling up, but a battle is brewing over his latest pick. We're live in Washington.
Show me that smile. Don't waste another.
We all know him. We all loved him. Fans in mourning over the sudden death of one of America's favorite TV dads, Alan Thicke. The reaction is pouring in this morning.
And sitting out the Super Bowl, which ad you will not be seeing for the first time in decades. Fox and Friends First starts right now.
It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day to be alive. Good to be here this morning as well. Good to be back with you, Heather, this morning. You're watching Fox and Friends First on this Wednesday morning. I'm Abby Huntsman.
Yeah, the middle of the week, almost made it to the weekend.
There.
I'm Heather Childers. Thank you so much, as always, for starting your day with us. And let's go straight to our top story for you. President-elect Donald Trump taking a major victory lap in Wisconsin to say thank you to voters.
This as his presidential cabinet is nearly complete.
Garrett Tenney live from Washington, D.C. with the very latest. Garrett, what, 2 spots left?
Is that it?
2 spots left. That's it. After several weeks, lots of talk. In those 2 spots, though, there's still plenty of names being thrown around to those. You'll remember, though, back during the campaign, Wisconsin was one of the big wins for President-elect Trump on election night. So it was the first time a Republican presidential candidate had won the state since 1984. So last night's rally, this was also the first time since naming ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson as his nominee for Secretary of State that Trump has held a rally. And he said, while there's already been signs of pushback on that pick, even among Republicans, that Tillerson is going to play a big part in his administration in making America great again.
And people are looking at this resume, and honestly, they've never seen a resume like this before. Rex will be a fierce advocate for America's interests around the world and has the insights and talents necessary to help reverse years of foreign policy blunders and disasters.
Fox News has also learned from sources close to the transition that Mr. Trump will announce 2 other cabinet selections in the next several days. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry is expected to be nominated as the Secretary of Energy, a department he once said he would get rid of if he were elected president. And Montana Republican Congressman Ryan Zinke is expected to be nominated for Secretary of the Interior. After that, Mr. Trump will still have 2 cabinet seats remaining, Veterans Affairs and Agriculture. Later today, the president-elect will be holding a bit of a tech summit at Trump Tower with some of the biggest names in technology, including Tesla and SpaceX's Elon Musk, Apple's Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook, and Safra Catz of Oracle. Busy day ahead for Mr. Trump, and still, as we mentioned, 2 cabinet seats left for him to name. Heather and Abby?
We'll be on the edge of our seats, still waiting for those final 2 spots.
Lots of people in and out yesterday.
Yeah. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you.
You got it.
Well, a confirmation battle may be brewing over Mr. Trump's pick of Rex Tillerson for Secretary of State. Florida Senator and former presidential candidate Marco Rubio expressing, quote, serious concerns over Tillerson's relationship with Russia. Secretary of State should be someone who is, quote, he says, free of potential conflicts of interest, has a clear sense of America's interest, and will be a forceful advocate for America's foreign policy goals. But former Secretary of Defense Bob Gates is praising Mr. Trump's nominee, saying Tillerson would bring, quote, vast knowledge, experience, and success in dealing with dozens of governments and leaders in every corner of the world. And with future Secretary of State Rex Tillerson facing an uphill battle on Capitol Hill, Laura Ingraham, editor-in-chief of LifeSet magazine, says that it will be good to bring in a fresh face from the business community to deal with Russia.
I'm not sure how much of a fight it's going to be. I think it's quite something to hear from Senator Corker talk about the flirtation between Tillerson and Putin when, first of all, under the Bush administration, I remember those gauzy videos captured with Putin and President Bush at the ranch and kind of the cowboy duds and, looking into his soul and seeing deeply into it. And, of course, the failed Russian reset on behalf of Hillary Clinton's efforts with the former Soviet Union. And then, of course, Barack Obama's telling Sergei Medvedev that he'd have more flexibility after the 2012 election cycle. So there seems to be there was a lot of attempt to get closer to Russia.
Well, there's also this morning. The debate over whether or not Russia hacked the election is not slowing down. The top U.S. spy agency says there is no evidence to back up the CIA's report, but defeated Democrats, they are still not giving up. Patricia Stark is following the latest developments on this. Patricia, good morning. What is the latest this morning?
Good morning, Abby and Heather. Well, this takes counterintelligence to a new level. First, it was the FBI who disagreed with the CIA. Now the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is not on the same page. The ODNI, led by James Clapper, oversees the entire intel community. The agency doesn't believe there is conclusive evidence yet to prove Russia wanted to help President-elect Trump win. Now, while those agencies battle, Democrats want answers. Senator Harry Reid says election hacking is a big deal, as big as Watergate and 9/11. He is now calling for a 9/11 type commission panel investigation. Reid's colleague, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, also wants a full probe.
Even if it didn't succeed, even if Hillary Clinton had won, it's still very important for us to have an investigation. I prefer an outside, bipartisan commission to review it.
But James Woolsey, a former CIA director and senior advisor to Mr. Trump, is firing back. He says it's not about the source of the hacks. It's the fact that government systems and information are being hacked, period. But we're learning this morning that this whole scandal may have started with a typo by the Clinton camp. Those details in our next half hour. Heather and Abby.
That's an interesting little anecdote there. We'll wait for that one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thanks, Patricia. Well, heartbreak and shock rocking Hollywood. Sad news to wake up to this morning. Actor Alan Thicke, best known as the iconic dad on the 80s sitcom Growing Pains, has died.
Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying. We're nowhere near the end.
Well, Thicke reportedly had a heart attack while playing hockey with his son. In addition to acting, Thicke is also remembered as an accomplished songwriter and composer. Among his work, the theme songs for Different Strokes and Facts of Life, Alan Thicke was just 69 years old.
So sad. We all just loved him, didn't we? He was such a good actor. All right, well, to this story now. I'm a Goner. The dramatic final moments from the crew of the doomed cargo ship El Faro. It was heading into the Hurricane Joaquin in the Atlantic last year. Transcripts revealing that the first mate requested several times to divert around that storm, and the captain's fatal decision to stay the course. All 33 crew members on board the ship from Florida to Puerto Rico were killed. And 5 Marines lucky to be alive after crashing into shallow waters off the coast of Japan. This video showing the mangled pile of wreckage and debris near Okinawa. What all happened during a training exercise, but no word on what exactly went wrong there. The Marines all airlifted to the hospital, and this comes just 1 week after a Marine pilot died in a crash in that same area.
Well, congratulations are in order this morning. Abby Huntsman named the new co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend.
Aww.
Of course, Abby, you've been here and on the Kirby Couch for a while now, but now we are making it official, and you'll join the team, Fox and Friends Weekend, as they celebrate their highest rated year in network history, by the way. We'll certainly miss you here, but glad that you're staying part of the Fox and Friends family.
I love being here with you, Heather. So thanks so much. I'm excited for this new adventure, new chapter. But I love our audience, and I love the Fox Friends family. So.
Yeah, and a big outpouring of support online as well.
So nice of everyone. We have such a great audience, don't we?
I know, we do.
So many friends out there. Thank you so much. All right, well, the time is now almost 10 minutes after the hour. 6 officers shot in Georgia in just 6 days.
Shots fired! Dispatch, shots fired!
And this morning, brand new video of that ambush.
427 is returning.
Somebody said the other day, well, now that Trump won, he's really not going to build the wall. I said, what are you? We're going to build the wall, okay?
And Donald Trump is promising to make good on that major campaign promise, but pro-immigration forces, they have a plan, and it involves you paying to fight the feds.
Plus, the PC police strike again. The target this time, Major League Baseball players.
What is that?
There is more on this one. Stick around. 13 minutes now after the hour, and outrage is boiling over as the largest sanctuary city doubles down on keeping illegal immigrants, including convicted criminals, in the U.S. And guess who is footing that bill? That's right, the taxpayer. San Francisco resisting the president's-elect proposal plan to deport illegals. The city wants to set up a $5 million slush fund to protect illegals and help them stay in the country. And that is sparking controversy nationwide.
We've seen for the past 2 administrations, at least, encouragement to illegal immigrants. What we need to be sending is a message around the world, a message of discouragement to reduce the flow to our border. That'll make securing the border easier.
There are some 44,000 illegals living in San Francisco right now.
Well, the PC police now hitting the baseball diamond. An age-old ritual of dressing up rookies as women is now banned. Major League Baseball creating a new anti-hazing and anti-bullying policy, prohibiting players from wearing costumes that may offend people. Like when the New York Mets had players dress up like the cast of A League of Their Own. That's what they're doing here. Well, the VP says that the new rules are a result of outrage on social media, saying that the outfits are insensitive. What do you think about that? Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. Well, the sweet sound of children's voices silenced by atheists in North Carolina. A school district forced to ban their choirs from performing at a church nativity celebration after the Freedom from Religion Foundation complained that it was unconstitutional. The district has been sending choirs to the celebration for years, but the atheists got involved after one parent complained.
Well, a federal appeals court upholding a law that requires voters to show their IDs before casting ballots in the state of Virginia. That's home to Hillary Clinton's running mate Tim Kaine. Virginia was challenged by Democrats who said the law makes it harder for minorities and young people to vote. But the judges disagreed, saying there are no facts or specific circumstances to support the left's case on that.
Well, now to a Fox Business alert. One major app may be spying on its users, and we could be one of them.
We could be. Cheryl Cassone from our sister network Fox Business here with what you need to know. Cheryl, good morning.
Celebrities are included in the story, ladies. So yes, both of you could be spied on. But I tell you what, this is interesting. These revelations came out in a lawsuit by a former employee of Uber. He was a security expert. He filed an age discrimination lawsuit. He also said that he was retaliated against while he was at the company for a little less than 1 year. What he says is that thousands of employees at Uber can add data related freely, to track their ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, maybe current love relationships, who knows. But he says that it was rampant and it was used all the time, and that they also tracked a lot of the celebrities using that ride data. Now, Uber says it has fired around 10 employees over this. They say that their site is secure, their data is secure, but it's raising a lot of eyebrows in Silicon Valley this morning.
Are you ever safe these days?
Yeah, interesting.
Crazy.
Well, now, Beyonce, we just showed her there. She was performing at the last Super Bowl last year. Cheryl, you and I were covering that.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to be to several of them, but there's some commercials that we won't see, at least one this time around.
Me too. And several years I've been working with the folks over at Frito-Lay for the Crash the Super Bowl commercials, and they're very popular. They're fan-based entries for the Super Bowl, and they also have those regularly produced Doritos commercials. Well, this is a big surprise to me and many others in the world of marketing, frankly, that they're going to be getting rid of these ads for the Super Bowl. This is a big decision. Now, PepsiCo is still going to sponsor the halftime show, which is Lady Gaga, as we all know. But also we've seen some other companies say it may not be worth the money. GoDaddy pulled out last year, and then also this year Toyota says they're not going to be running ads in the Super Bowl. They're rethinking how they want to spend that money. It's a lot of cash for this.
How much is it this year for like 30-second ad?
We don't know yet, but usually it's anywhere from $500,000 up to $1 million, up to maybe $2 million, depending on where your ad is placed during the game. Especially if it's not a great game, you want to be in the first half.
Right. Well, if you don't want to spend any money, Cheryl, Dunkin' Donuts, you can get some free coffee.
Well, I am a little cheap. That is true. I freely admit that. Yep, free coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Now, not all Dunkin' Donuts participating locations are involved in this promotion, but 15,000 free medium coffees are going to be handed out at Dunkin' Donuts across the country from now through December 23rd. Now, you have to go to the website and check it out. So I did, of course, to find out. New York not included today. But today there are locations in St. Louis, Nashville, and Springfield, Massachusetts, and it changes every day. Now, each location is only going to give out so much coffee, so you probably have to get there early if you want it free.
Something that we definitely are familiar with on this shift. A lot of coffee.
Too much coffee. All right, thank you,
Cheryl. Thanks.
The time is now almost 18 minutes after the hour. And playing the blame game, President Obama taking aim at Donald Trump for Russia's email hacks.
The president-elect said to the Russians, hack Hillary's emails.
But was it really the Clinton camp's fault how just one typo exposed them to the hackers?
And trying to cut down your cooking time, well, how about the 1 second, we promise, 1 second slicer?
Really? Does that work?
Are you tired of slicing and dicing by hand and bulky slicers that clutter your countertop? Stop. Introducing 1 second slicer.
Does it really work? We are putting it to the test, and we will find out for you up next live, so stay tuned. Well, all week long, we've been putting the as seen on TV products to the test.
Are you tired of slicing and dicing by hand and bulky slicers that clutter your countertop? Stop. Introducing 1 second slicer, the amazing food preparation station that slices, dices, chops, minces, and juliennes.
Ooh. Right, we have all seen this one, but does the 1 second slicer really work? Here to help us put it to the test, lifestyle expert and eBay style contributor Anna D'Souza. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
I'm dying to see if this works.
Slices, dices, and chops.
And minces, right?
Yes.
So the claim is that it does all of this, and technically speaking, it does take 1 second. However, you have to do a little bit of the prep work ahead of time.
So you do have to do some work.
Right, you do have to do some work. So let's give it a try here. You could try with this little cucumber.
Cut it in half?
You have to cut it in half, right?
Oh, so you can't put the whole thing in.
You can't put the whole thing in there. So you have to cut your vegetables and prep them so that it's almost like into a 3-inch piece. So then you can go ahead, put it into the
3-inch piece.
So
yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
You put it whatever direction you want the slices to
be in, right?
Okay.
So you can even go top from like this. So go ahead. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
So it does work.
Oh, I chopped.
So that was a good one. So that's an easy one, right? Because that's more. It's
cucumbers are a little softer.
It's a little softer, right? So let's try the carrot.
Okay.
So you can use. You can drop that
We'll
one.
share.
Okay.
I'll even cut this a little bit more.
I think I'll have to cut mine a little bit.
Right. So that's the trick. The thing is, you
watch
do
the
have,
knives.
You have to watch. Right. If you tend to chop your vegetables like this and close your eyes, I mean, this is probably a good tool.
Still pretty easy though with the carrot.
And then
it's super easy.
It's nice because it doesn't move once you put it in there.
Right. And what I love about this too is that it cuts everything in a uniform shape. Right. So when you're cooking, everything's going to cook in the same
Or you're making a salad, for example. Everything is even.
Okay, now onions, which we all know bring tears to our eyes.
Yes. So how do we
could help?
So I feel like this is a game changer as far as the onion is concerned because no one really wants to
peel it.
Peel it.
Ooh, we got carrots going.
Yeah, we're probably not going to have a ton of time to actually take all of the skin off, but
I'm just going to leave it on.
Are you supposed to take the skin off?
Yeah, you should take the skin off before.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it works.
It still works.
Much better than slicing it yourself, for sure.
Exactly.
Now I want to see the potato.
Okay, so
that
for
seems
the
difficult.
potato, so again, you do have to go in, sort of slice it a little bit. But what I love is that it does come with
these knives are a little
different
frightening,
attachments. So all of these are going to give you different types of cuts. So you can do almost like a French fry cut, or
you really have to push it.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Got it. Oh, almost.
Go?
Oh no! What happened to it?
Well, I put it in the first one.
Oh no! Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's because you're supposed to use this side here.
Okay.
You see?
So use
okay.
the
So
back
the
one.
other trick to this, which is great, is that it does offer you. So because it has this, it pushes the vegetable in a little bit better.
That's the one I did. That one's easier.
The other tiny complaint that people have had is that it starts to slide. So you definitely want to try to do it a little bit closer to your body so you can.
And speaking of not sliding,
yeah,
these are great
as well. Okay, so we have kids, and obviously mealtime can become a little bit messy. This is called Easy Peasy, and what it is, it's a silicone placemat, and you cannot move it.
You really can't.
This could be good for adults too, not
because
just kids.
there are corn pops in here, which obviously, if you could move it, they would go all over the place.
Right. I mean, I guess you could still grab the corn pop and
throw it.
You know, you could still throw it.
Great. So how do you wash this? Just throw it in the dishwasher?
This is actually dishwasher safe. You can pile one on top of the other. It's microwave safe too. But the funny thing is that I was, reading reviews, and you just can't let your children see how you pick it up, how you have to.
Oh, because they'll learn.
Once they see it, then they're able to pick it up. I thought that was pretty funny.
They can still pick up the food out of the little container.
But at least there won't be bowls.
But you could also take this to restaurants, which is really nice if you're like in New York.
Idea.
Yes. The tables are so dirty.
Well, thank you so much, Anna. We appreciate it.
It really works.
Great
Who knew?
Thanks, And don't miss tomorrow. We're going to try out the My Pillow.
We are. That is what I'm dying to try too. We'll see how that one plays out.
Well, the time now is about 1/2 the top of the hour, almost, and there's some bombshell new evidence in a case that has captivated the country for decades.
The brand new DNA testing that uncovered new clues in the unsolved murder of John Benet Ramsey. That is coming up.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 14th. High-profile candidates in and out of Trump Tower every day, but here's one that you might not expect.
Mr. Trump, Kanye, what did you guys discuss in your meeting today?
Just friends, and he's a good man.
Yes, that is Kanye West. What is he doing with our president-elect? We are live in Washington.
And deep freeze, 100 million Americans bracing for sub-zero temperatures as a woman and her dog underestimate the dangerous ice and the weather warnings now across 14 states.
And beware before you belly up to the bar at happy hour, a surprising new warning about wine that might make you change your drink order. Fox and Friends First continues right now.
Good morning to you. You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Wednesday morning. Made it halfway through the week. I'm Heather Childers.
We're almost there. Good morning to you. I'm Abby Huntsman. It's currently 30 after the hour. And this is where we begin. President-elect Donald Trump taking a major victory lap in Wisconsin to say thank you to the voters.
This as his presidential cabinet is nearly complete. Garrett Tenney live for us in Washington, D.C. with the very latest. The countdown now down to 2.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, 21 down and only 2 to go until President-elect Trump has completed his cabinet. After that, you could say the real work begins, as there will still be 4,000 other jobs that need to be filled for this next administration. Yesterday, Mr. Trump officially announced the most contested seat of his cabinet, though, naming ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson as his nominee for Secretary of State. Already, Democrats and even some Republicans are criticizing the pick because of Tillerson's close ties to Russia and President Vladimir Putin. Last night, though, in Wisconsin, Republicans were fully behind the president-elect at his thank you tour rally at the Wisconsin State Fair Exposition Center, with Mr. Trump telling the crowd, America is going to start winning again.
We're going to win so much, you're going to go to Paul Ryan, you're going to go, Mr. Speaker, please, please. We can't stand winning this much. They just can't take it anymore. I say, Paul, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have to go back and tell them we're going to keep winning and winning and winning, whether they like it or not.
Fox News has also learned from sources close to the transition that Mr. Trump will announce 2 other cabinet selections in the next several days. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry is expected to be nominated as the Secretary of Energy, a department he once said he would get rid of if he were elected president. And Montana Republican Congressman Ryan Zinke, who serves on the House's Natural Resources Committee, is expected to be nominated for the Secretary of the Interior. After that, Mr. Trump will have only 2 cabinet seats remaining: Veterans Affairs and Agriculture. Later today, the president-elect will continue his outreach efforts among business leaders and will be holding a tech summit of sorts at Trump Tower with some of Silicon Valley's biggest names, including Tesla and SpaceX's Elon Musk, Apple's Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook, and Safra Catz of Oracle. Heather Nappy?
Interesting. Following Bill Gates, who was just there yesterday, he said they were talking about innovation. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe an announcement as soon as today. We'll stay on that. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Garrett.
You got it.
And speaking of guests at Trump Tower, a surprise guest turning heads at Trump Tower yesterday, rapper Conway dropping by for a half-hour meeting with the president-elect.
Hey, what did you guys discuss in your meeting today?
Just friends, and he's a good man.
Did you
Doing
discuss
well.
possible
Long time.
positions?
We've been friends for a long time.
You guys discuss
Life.
Well, the rapper staying tight-lipped in front of reporters, but later tweeted this: "I feel it is important to have a direct line of communication with our future president if we truly want change." Well, he then revised his earlier plans to run for president in 2020, tweeting with the hashtag 2024. And last month, you remember, West told fans he didn't vote, but if he had voted, it would have been for Mr. Trump.
I didn't see that. He's actually stopped by Trump Tower before.
Apparently they're friends.
Yep. Well, heartbreak and shock rocking Hollywood this morning. Actor Alan Thicke, best known as the iconic dad on the 80s sitcom Growing Pains, has died. Carly Shimkus with Fox News Headlines 24/7, Sirius XM 115 is live with us now on how his famous family and his friends are reacting. Good morning, Carly. This was shocking news to wake up to this morning.
Yeah, sudden and tragic. He was America's dad for years on Growing Pains, and now actor Alan Thicke is gone forever.
Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
Thicke reportedly had a heart attack while playing hockey with his 19-year-old son. According to the LA Times, his final words were spent complimenting the teen on a nice shot. Thicke played patriarch Dr. Jason Seaver on Growing Pains for 7 seasons. His co-star Joanna Kearns, who played his wife on the show, tweeting out, "I loved Alan. He was one of the smartest and funniest men I have ever known. We shared a life-changing success and friendship." Actress Candace Cameron Bure also chiming in, posting this picture from Thicke's recent guest appearance on Fuller House. She's known him since she was just 8 years old. And actor Rob Lowe says Alan Thicke was one of the nicest guys in our business, and he loved his family and hockey. A shocking, sad loss. And speaking of hockey, the Edmonton Oilers honoring the actor with this throwback photo of Thicke and hockey legend Wayne Gretzky. And this is just heartbreaking. Pop singer Robin Thicke speaking to the LA Times, calling his father the greatest man I ever met. Alan Thicke was just 69 years old. Back to you guys.
He will be missed.
Yeah, those theme songs and those shows, we will forever
It brings it all
remember
back,
him.
doesn't
Yeah.
it? I think I watched every episode of Growing Pains.
Our prayers certainly with his family today. Thank you, Carly.
Thank you, Carly. All right, well, new DNA testing could help solve a case that has captivated the country for 20 years, the murder of John Benet Ramsey. A joint investigation uncovering serious flaws on testing key evidence in the past, including what the 6-year-old was wearing when she was killed on Christmas night. The new testing will be conducted with more sophisticated and sensitive kits. And just hours from now, a deadlocked jury will try to agree on a verdict in a dramatic murder for hire trial. Dalia DiPolito is accused of hiring a hitman to kill her husband. Police in Boynton Beach, Florida, setting up an undercover sting, showing DiPolito in a car with a phony killer for hire.
Already, I'm positive, like 5,000% sure.
Police then staging a fake murder. DiPolito was convicted of solicitation to commit murder back in 2011, but an appeal overturning that conviction. She says she was just acting for a reality TV show.
Well, some chilling new police body cam video showing the moment that 2 Georgia officers are shot. The officers caught off guard as the suspect, Kerry Jordan, opens fire during a traffic stop.
Shots fired! Dispatch, shots fired!
22-year-old officer Jeffrey Martin was hit in the hand, and 50-year-old Michael Shulman was shot under the arm. Now, both are expected to be okay. That's the good news. The suspect is now behind bars. It's been a violent week for officers in Georgia. 6 police officers shot in just the past week. And also in Georgia, some dramatic videos showing a deputy rushing to rescue a 10-year-old boy trapped under an ATV. Deputy Ray Rodriguez finding the boy pinned under the flipped vehicle, turning blue. Well, the ATV sitting right on his neck, but the quick-thinking deputy grabbing a strap from his squad car, tying it around the ATV, and then flipping it on its wheels back over, saving the boy's life, certainly. Rodriguez was awarded a medal for his heroic actions, and well deserved.
It's incredible.
Lucky little boy.
Well, and turning now to some extreme weather and this dramatic rescue in Chicago. A dog pulled from a frigid lake after falling through the ice, and then the situation becomes even more urgent when a young mother, the dog's owner, goes right in after her.
Honey, you're doing fine. Just tell her that the police said she needs to come back to the shore.
The police say you need to come back to the shore.
Oh, and the rescue comes as a paralyzing deep freeze sweeps through the Great Lakes. 100 million people are now bracing for the Arctic air as it moves east. Weather warnings and watches extending across more than a dozen states from California to Florida.
So sad. Well, have you seen this? Any pictures online yet? Look up, because the last supermoon of 2016 and meteor shower lighting up the skies. The celestial scenes playing out overnight and early this morning. Look at that supermoon.
That's probably why I couldn't sleep last night, or my dog. Well, the supermoon happens when a full moon is closest to the Earth, so close that it shines 30% brighter. And this happening as meteors streak across the sky. There was some beautiful.
Yeah,
is that a plane?
Yeah, there were some amazing shots. There was some video that I actually retweeted for everyone out there, and you saw some jets going right by, the shadow of them.
All right, well, the time is now 40 minutes after the hour, and playing the blame game, President Obama taking aim at Donald Trump for Russia's email hacks.
The president-elect said to the Russians, hack Hillary's emails.
But was it really the Clinton camp's fault? How just one typo exposed them to the hackers?
And saving Christmas, the frantic effort made by a mail carrier to save his packages. Look at this. His truck just erupted into flames.
And buying gifts online, there is still time to ship presents, but the deadline is coming soon. What you need to know to make sure that your gifts get there on time.
I need to get on that.
We all do.
Right now. Welcome back to Fox and Friends. First, a Fox News alert for you. ISIS terrorists buying an arsenal of military-grade weapons on an industrial scale. That's a quote. The alarming new report, it is just out. It says extremists are manufacturing and stocking explosives, rockets, and drones in bulk. The majority of materials coming from the same factories in Turkey. Now, the new report concluding that ISIS is producing ammunition at, quote, an unprecedented rate.
President Obama slamming President-elect Trump over Russia, saying Mr. Trump urged them to hack Hillary Clinton's emails to prove conspiracy theories. And he's also blaming voters for obsessing about it. Listen.
The state of our democracy, where the leaks of what were frankly not very interesting emails ended up being an obsession, and the fact that the Russians were doing this was not an obsession.
But listen to this. A typo by Team Clinton may have started all of this. The New York Times reporting that an aide warned John Podesta and others about a fake email scam back in March. The aide wrote, "This is a legitimate email. John needs to change his password immediately." Well, he meant to write illegitimate. Podesta's emails were hacked, leading to all those WikiLeaks dumps before the election.
Speaking of the election, Jill Stein's crusade to expose voter injustice, well, it just backfired yet again. The Green Party candidate just blew the lid off major ballot box fraud in Detroit. That's a city where Hillary Clinton won big, you'll remember. Republican lawmakers now calling for a comprehensive statewide audit after a shocking discovery in Detroit. Election officials uncovering more voters or votes than actual voters in a third of the city's precincts. Wow.
Remember when the UK asked the internet to name a new ship and they came up with this Bodie McBoatface? Well, people here at home want to do the same thing. A new White House petition wants the next major Navy ship named USS The Deplorables. Of course, referencing when Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters a basket of deplorables. Right now, it only has a few thousand signatures. It needs 100,000 by January 3rd to get a White House response.
I don't know about that one. But let's check in with Steve Ducey to see what he thinks about that and what else is coming up on Fox and Friends.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, ladies. Yeah, coming up on Fox and Friends, Congressman Sean Duffy of Wisconsin was on the stage last night before Donald Trump, the president-elect, had his thank you tour. There's Sean right now. What was that like? We're going to ask him when he joins us live, along with his wife. Also, Hall of Famer Jim Brown, who met with the president-elect yesterday, is going to be joining us. There he is, along with the guest, Dr. Scott, I believe, who was on our program yesterday. And Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo, is dropping by. So we got a busy 3 hours. Kicks off 14 minutes from right now.
I love
right here on the channel you ladies trust for your morning news.
And not Kanye West, though, this morning, huh? It's not coming on over?
You know what? It's early. Our bookers are still working on it, so stay tuned.
Yeah. Also, Ray Lewis was there as well, so be interested to see what Jim Brown has to say. Thank you so much, Steve. And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
It is really looking a lot like Christmas here in New York City. Love this time of year. We're back with this. Take a look at this dramatic video. It shows the Christmas presents being saved after a postal truck goes up in flames. You can see a mailman and a Good Samaritan frantically rescuing packages one by one in a North Carolina neighborhood. Well, the fire starting in the engine and quickly spreading. The driver luckily got out safely and with the help of a passerby managed to save most of the Christmas gifts. The damaged ones were wet but were not burned.
No, folks whose Christmas presents were wet. Well, the United Service Organization, meantime, is asking for help thanking our heroes this Christmas. For its 75th anniversary, the USO is setting a goal of 1.4 million messages for every single U.S. service member worldwide. And they've already received 1 million and celebrated at the top of the Empire State Building, thanking America.
This is America. America.
And you can send thank you at uso.org/message.
That was beautiful. All right, well, 750 million packages will be delivered this holiday season. If you're still checking names off of your shopping list, you are against several shipping delivery deadlines, right?
Cheryl Casoni from our sister network, Fox Business, here with the dates that we need to know. All right, Cheryl.
We all need your help, Cheryl.
There's a lot of them, too. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the month of December is flying by, and that means we're going to need a crunch time for last-minute shopping and, more importantly, holiday shipping if you need to get those packages in the mail. With the repeat surge in online shopping this holiday season, look for Monday, December 19th to be the busiest shipping day of the holiday season. Now, luckily, this Friday, which is the 16th, it's free shipping day where many participating retailers will offer free shipping with no minimum order size and guaranteed Christmas Eve arrival. In fact, some retailers are being clear. If you miss these deadlines, your gift may miss the Christmas tree. Now, Amazon is offering free shipping through December 16th with the guaranteed delivery before Christmas. In select cities, if you're waiting until the last minute and you do use Amazon, there is same-day delivery on December 24th, but you have to get the order in early that morning by 9:30, maybe 9:45 a.m., depending on what city you're in. Check if they even offer it where you live. Now, the U.S. Postal Service says if you want a ground shipment to arrive by Christmas, get it out the door by the 15th. That's tomorrow. I know. If you use first-class mail, you want to send it out by the 20th, no later than the 20th. And then UPS has a deadline of December 19th if you're going to use their 3-day select service. And then FedEx says if you use home delivery or ground, get them out by December 16th. Again, that's like now.
I'm going to emphasize that. That is tomorrow, people.
I'm going to have a busy day today, that is for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thanks for the reminder, though. Thanks, Cheryl.
She has now warned us. And how about this to your health? A new study shows that those diet drinks you may think help you lose weight actually make you hungrier. Scientists say that artificial sweeteners and calorie-free drinks like Diet Coke and Sprite, Zero, well, they actually increase your hunger. And so people simply then make up the difference by eating more calories.
And I don't love this story. You may want to ease up on the wine this holiday season because a new study from Brown University's medical school says white wine is linked to cancer. Researchers found that drinking 1 glass a day increased a person's risk of skin cancer by 13%. Listen to this. For people who drank 2 glasses a day, were 73% more likely to be diagnosed with the disease. White wine contains higher levels of a chemical compound that can damage DNA.
It's interesting how these studies go back and forth as to whether it's healthy or not healthy.
You know what? Everything in moderation.
Yeah. Well, the time now is 6 minutes until the top of the hour, and say so long to seesaws. What?
On 3. 3!
Oh, come on. Why the feds are now taking aim at the popular playground toy.
Behalf of everyone on stage tonight and everyone watching around the world, we say thank you.
We love The Rock. How The Rock is helping spread holiday cheer to military families this year.
He's my favorite.
That'd be great.
Start falling. Let's get ready to fight. I didn't listen and I couldn't.